What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another adventure here at the Outpost. In today's adventure, we are going to be looking back at that magical year of 2011 and counting down my personal top 10 favorite movies that are turning 10 years old today. It's crazy that 10 years have passed already since 2011. It feels like just yesterday. That was the year that I went into film school for screenwriting, and it's insane that that long has passed already. Time flies. But there were a lot of good movies that year, so without waiting too much longer, let's jump right into that video. But first, like always, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, let's rock that algorithm, and let's party on. So kicking off the countdown at number 10 is a reboot of a classic series from the 60s that looking back on it, it's crazy that it became as good as it did. This is my second favorite of the trilogy, and that is Rise of the Planet of the Apes. This is a really awesome reboot, one of the few really good reboots that expands on the original and actually goes bigger and better than the originals ever could have. This movie is really awesome. It's a really good opener to what this story would be. James Franco's solid in the movie. Andy Serkis is just probably one of the most phenomenal actors working today. And it's amazing that you can say that because it's so rare that we ever actually see his face in a movie. I feel like Age of Ultron and Black Panther are the only movies where we actually see his face. I can't remember another movie where we actually saw his face. You see his face in the long shot, but he's still under like a lot of prosthetics, I think. Like he wanted like a really silly nose and everything, so you still don't see him. But anyway, he's phenomenal in this. This movie series is so good. Dawn is my personal favorite of the trilogy. War is my least favorite. But I gotta give War another shot. I only ever watched it once when I saw it in theaters. But Rise of the Planet of the Apes, man, that was a hell of a statement in the summer that a new franchise was upon us. Coming in at number 9, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. This is a David Fincher movie. It is a remake of or I guess it shouldn't say remake, it's just another. This is the American edition. There was a Swedish version that's also really awesome. I like both versions a lot. I think I tend to like this one a little bit more, but that's only because there's more name brand people in it, like a lot, like Daniel Craig and Rooney Mara is in this one. So it's just a freaking really good movie. It's really dark. It's very demented. The book is really awesome. Also, this has got this sweet cover art on it. I gotta get this in on Blu-ray or 4K if they have it. I don't know if they have it on Blu-ray or 4K. I'm gonna have to look it up. But even if they do, I'm gonna keep this copy because I really like this kind of like cover. I don't even know what you would call this kind of cover, but I really like the way it opens, and it has those sweet shots. This is a really dope movie. I gotta watch this again. I haven't seen this in a little while. But script by Steven Zaillian. Steven Zaillian is a really phenomenal writer. If you don't know him, look up some of his other movies. I believe he did like The Insider and a bunch of other stuff. He's always credited on things. I think he also helped Aaron Sorkin on Moneyball. Don't hold me to that though. But he's a really good writer. Coming in at number 8 is those lovable gang of misfits, the Muppets. I love this movie. This movie is so funny, silly, over the top. It's classic Muppets. It's one of the few post-2000 Muppets pieces that actually feel like the Muppets. The sequel to this, Muppets Most Wanted, is good also. It's not as good. It's a little bit sillier, but it has some good music in it. But this one is the total package. Jason Segel is phenomenal. I said it in my last video, the last time I talked about Jason Segel. Where are you, man? I need more from you, dude. We haven't seen you in a while. Come back. We need you. But this movie, chock full of celebrity appearances, so many silly bits. A lot of really good songs in it. This is quintessential Muppets right here. I love that movie, and I can watch it all the time. Where did I leave off? NumberSeven. We were just talking about it before, and looking at it here, I was right. Steven Zaillian helped write the script. That is Moneyball. This is a really awesome movie. Steven Zaillian and Aaron Sorkin writing. Like, what else do you need to know? Those are like two of the most phenomenal writers working today in Hollywood. And then you combine Brad Pitt in this movie, and you surefire thing. One of the last Philip Seymour Hoffman performances. Love Philip Seymour Hoffman. Jonah Hill proving that he can do drama. I'm not the biggest Jonah Hill fan, but he is surprisingly decent in this movie. This is a really good movie if you like sports movies, if you like dramas. Really, if you just like movies, you need to check this one out. This is a really good one. I missed it. I didn't see it in theaters. This is the first one out of the pile that we've gotten to so far that I haven't seen that I didn't get to see in theaters. But as soon as it came out, I made sure to pick it up and watch it. Where are we? 10, 9, 8, 7. We are up to NumberSix. One of my favorite franchises going today. We got Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. They've got this sick steelbook, him on the front, whole gang on the back. This is a really awesome action movie. This, to me, like, NumberThree is really good also, but this is the one that really, like, shot Mission Impossible off into the stratosphere with how awesome its stunt work was and how insane its set pieces were. Like, NumberThree is good, but it still falls into some of the J.J. Abrams traps that he's, like, so known for with every one of his movies. But it was really in this one where, like, spectacle and set pieces really started to take the forefront in this, with, like, the Burj Khalifa scene, him running through the sandstorm, the fight in the parking garage at the end. Like, there's so many good set pieces in this movie, and this is the one that really set it forward for all the other ones, with Rogue Nation and Fallout having some of the best set pieces you've ever seen in action movies in the last, like, 20 years. This is probably one of the best franchises around. NumberFive is the epically brilliant and violently exciting Drive. This movie is freaking awesome. This is the movie that really, like, cemented, like, how dope Ryan Gosling was for me. This year, there's gonna be another Ryan Gosling movie coming up later. That this man is a powerhouse actor, making some really great choices these days in what he decides to put his name on. And this movie is a great addition to his filmography. This movie is visually stunning with some really good bursts of violence. It is just a really good freaking movie. Violent, so if you can't take violent stuff, you might not want to watch this one. But it is really good. It's got a really stacked supporting cast too. Carey Mulligan, Bryan Cranston, Christina Hendricks, Ron Perlman. A lot of really good people in this. NumberFour is a movie that is definitely one that probably was huge for everyone to watch last year and this year, and that is Contagion. Who would have thought 10 years ago, watching this movie, that it would become very lifelike in the year 2020. This movie is it's called a thriller, but this movie really should be a horror movie. I remember the first time I saw this, and this movie scared the shit out of me. Not so much jump scares, but in the deadly thought and implications that something like this could absolutely happen at any time. And lo and behold, last year, to some degree, it did happen. Wasn't as deadly as it was in this movie, but that doesn't mean that something like that couldn't happen again in the future. There are way too many of us on this planet, and the more that we overpopulate and the more that we destroy these rainforests and bring these creatures closer into our environments, the more shit like this is going to happen. And that is an absolutely terrifying thing to think about. But it makes for a wicked good movie. I love this movie. You should definitely check it out if you're in the mood to have some terrible real-world implications keeping you up at night. Ryan Gosling makes his second appearance on this list with my number 3 pick, my favorite romantic comedy, Crazy Stupid Love. This movie is charming, it's adorable, it's hilarious. This is the perfect romantic comedy. It is so much fun. The relationship between Ryan Gosling and Steve Carell is amazing. The relationship with the kids is great. With Emma, everybody in this movie just plays their part to perfection, and it has such a great build to it that leads to such a fun um, finale. Like the fight scene at the mini golf course is such a funny scene and builds to such a perfect crescendo. It's great writing right there. It's written by Dan Fogelman, who I believe went on to do This Is Us, which people go ape shit for. So obviously the man knows his romance. So that's definitely a good one to check out if you love rom-coms, romantic comedies. Check that one out, absolutely. Number 2 on the list is my favorite J.J. Abrams movie, and that is Super 8. Look at that awesome steelbook. So dope. It's got that sweet thing on the back. This movie is so good. It's like his take on E.T. Takes place in the 70s, and it deals with this town that has all these strange things happening to it. As they find the government coming into their area, they find there was a huge train accident, and it might have left an alien presence that these kids have to deal with. This movie is a lot of fun. J.J. Abrams directs the shit out of it. He definitely wears his influences on his sleeve here, but that's not a bad thing considering how good this movie is. It feels so much like a Spielberg movie. Not so much like just stealing from him, but just the overall aesthetic and atmosphere that you get from a Spielberg movie, where just like you feel like you're watching something larger than life. That's what this movie feels like. And it has a hell of a great ending to it also. I love this movie. It's one of the few J.J. Abrams movies that I unabashedly love and don't really have anything bad to say about it. So check Super 8 out if you haven't seen it. But there can only be one number one. And for the year of 2011 and our movies that are turning 10 years old today, there can be no other number one than the amazing sport movie, Warrior. This movie came out of nowhere to absolutely crush me. I didn't see it in theaters. I ended up watching it that summer when I got it on DVD, and I watched it with my friends after a day of swimming in the pool. And this is one of those movies that, thank God, we were all watching it in the dark, because every single one of us by the end of it were all trying to hide the fact that we had been crying at the end of this movie. This movie is so freaking good. It's just, I don't want to say too much about this movie because I want you to watch it and go in blind, not know anything about it other than the fact that it is a sports movie about a UFC competition. And that's all you should know going into this movie for the absolute, to really get all that drama out of it. This movie is fantastic. Tom Hardy and Joel Edgerton are so phenomenal in it. Nick Nolte, one of his best older performances. This is a movie that absolutely must be seen. If you haven't seen it, you need to find a way to watch it because it is that damn good. And that's our list. There was a hell of a lot of good movies that came out in 2011. Super hard to get my top 10 out of them, but those are the ones that I felt gave me the best bang for my buck, were the ones that I go to the most often. I watch these movies a bunch. These are the ones from that year that really speak to me. But that's it for me now. Comment down below if you've seen these movies, what you think, what your favorite movies from 10 years ago were. And yeah, until the next party. For you guys sticking around, appreciate it as always. We're going to rock another phenomenal digital code for you guys. This is for the movie Backdraft. This is a really good fireman movie. So if you haven't seen it and you want to give something a watch, you better hop on this code. Hop on it and do it. As always, if you're the first one, comment down below that you got it so that everyone else knows that they're fucking losers and they missed out. And until the next one, stay safe, party on, and adventure on.